Hello folks, I'm Alex. This is Alex Unabridged. Welcome back to the channel if that is the case. This is Trash Tales, The Road to Publication, episode 4. Yes, lots to tell you today regarding Trash Tales, an anthology of trashy fiction, coming out very, very soon now. So yeah, we've got where we're up to with the book to talk about today, in terms of getting it ready for publication, what the last month before release has in store, how to request an e-arc, an advanced reader copy, if you're interested in helping us get the word out via review or social media posting, that kind of thing, where you'll be able to get the book once it releases, and of course the cover reveal. All bits of information, different sections, etc., are time stamped in case you want to skip to a particular bit of information. But let's kick things straight off with that cover reveal. So if you've been following the project throughout the last however many months I've been making these videos, since the beginning of the year basically, you might remember that we put out a call for cover art submissions earlier in the year, around February I think it was. We received just 2 submissions from that call, and whilst we both really liked the pieces of art that were submitted, unfortunately neither of them were quite the right fit for this particular project. The quality of the art and the skill level was evident in both submissions. They were really good. We really enjoyed seeing them. But many thanks to both artists who submitted. It was absolutely fantastic to see your work, and it was a real shame that we couldn't use it in this instance. But yeah, seeing as we didn't feel either piece of art or design was quite right for Trash Tales, it was time for me to put my art and design hat on, take my editing hat off for a minute, and put my art and design hat on. And so I give to you the cover design for Trash Tales, an anthology of trashy fiction. So a bit of background on how I made this then. I had the benefit, obviously, of knowing exactly what the content was in the stories and what the overall vibe of the book was going to be. And so I kind of wanted to reference the breadth of kind of random and fun elements that feature in these stories. So I went online and started searching for images. The vast majority of the images used in this design, in this piece, are public domain images via sites like Unsplash, which is a fantastic site if you're a collage artist. Where they're not public domain, they are free to use with an attribution, which is included in the book, that attribution. Or a couple of them are pulled from my own personal library of stock, which I've built up over like the last decade or so. But I wanted to find an image for each story that represented something in that story. So that might be kind of the focal point of the story, a representation of a particular plot element, or even a prop, if you like, from the story. There is at least one image linked to each story in this overall collage. So when you read the book, you can then look back at the cover and see how that particular image fits in to the content of the book, to what we've got in this collection. So I went and got some images. I made a fast and dirty kind of digital mock-up to show Ollie as a proof of concept. And then once I'd got his thumbs up on it, I went back and kind of refined the image selection, got some different stuff, some stuff that I liked better, things that fitted in with the overall collage better. And once I got that I then went and did quite a bit of photoshopping, quite a bit of work in Photoshop and quite a bit of work in Procreate as well. Once I'd kind of got the images to where I want, the individual images to where I want them to be, I then printed them all out and got out the scissors and glue because I wanted to make this a hand-done collage. The problem with digital collage, whilst they're quite, nifty and easy to do, they're quick in a lot of ways, they're a bit clean for me sometimes. It's a lot harder to kind of get a slightly sort of dirtier look to them. Or rougher look, should I say. But when you use, scissors and a knife and stuff, it's by hand. There's only so much you can do in terms of you cutting out, certainly my cutting out skills. And I wanted that hand done, that rough cut kind of look. I also wanted natural shadows. I didn't want to have to use digital drop shadows because they all look too uniform, for instance. And so the layers of a collage are actually stepped slightly, so you get a bit of a shadow effect. And it's also just a lot easier to play about with the general composition of images and where they go and all that kind of stuff by hand before they're stuck down. I can move them around, I can see how they look. Rather than doing that digitally, I find doing that digitally is a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more finicky. So I prefer to do that kind of thing by hand. So once I'd got all of that and I'd, fixed on where the images were going and stuff, I stuck everything down, put a slight step in with some cardboard. That's the original collage there. And then scanned that in basically, and then went back into Photoshop and did clean up and color correction, added the extra text and stuff, and hey presto, there's the cover. So I really enjoyed making this. Actually, it was lovely to do a bit of arty stuff and take a break from some of the editing and formatting type stuff I was doing at a similar time. And yeah, it's just always nice to do a bit of art, especially a little bit of cutting and sticking art. So yeah, but speaking of formatting, the book is this close to being done and ready to go. I have a print proof already right here that I am marking up. I'm just doing the final proofread on. There's a couple of tweaks in it to do. And I'm tweaking the cover a little bit just to kind of get the colours to pop a bit more, and then that will be good to go. And the ebook is now formatted and tested, and save for any errors that I might find in the print proof, which I then will also need to just edit in the ebook as well. The ebook is ready to go as well. That was formatted not in the same program that I used for the print edition. Ebooks print very different beasts, so I use Calibre for the formatting of the ebook, which is a great open source program. And the formatting process, I have to say, was a bit tricky in places. I think if we were only releasing the book on one platform, i.e. Amazon, it would have been a doddle because it works straight off the bat on Kindle. Well, because it's going to be available from Kobo as well, and in addition to that, directly from us as just an EPUB file. So that's to make it so it's accessible, suitable for folks to read on pretty much any device, any app that they've got. There were definitely some hurdles to overcome in getting the ebook to work across a plethora of different devices running different apps, different operating systems, that kind of thing. What I found was what works on one device brilliantly then doesn't work on another device. It was a little frustrating at times, but we've got it sorted. I was thanking the stars that I learned HTML and CSS coding years back, as I definitely needed that knowledge, although I had to dredge it from the dark recesses of my memory because it's been probably a decade at least since I used it regularly. And a huge thanks once again to Lecton from Reading from the Depths for his help with some of the testing on this ebook. Ollie, also thank you for testing on your numerous devices. I think Ollie has every device under the sun. But Lecton also tested on Kobo for me, and that's where we came up against some problems. But he was fantastic in helping me solve those problems. He's been an absolute boon on this project, and I'm extremely grateful for his help. But yes, now we have a working ebook, we are also able to announce that we're accepting requests for e-ARCs, advanced reader copies, for folks who would like to receive a copy of Trash Tales before release date, and review it or share their thoughts on it via social media. The number of e-ARCs that we've got available is limited, and as this is a charity endeavour, we're looking for advanced readers who can get the word out really via social media. That doesn't mean that you can't review the book honestly. We absolutely encourage honest reviews. But we just like people to talk about it as much as possible. So to say, this is about getting the word out, hopefully getting as many sales as possible, which converts to a hopefully higher donation to the charity, which I'll come on to in a minute, which charity, etc. So if you'd like to request an ARC, There is a link to a request form in the video description. Please submit your request by Tuesday the 8th of July, so that's a week from today as this video goes up, at midnight GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, and we will be in touch hopefully by the 14th of July to let you know if your request has been accepted. If it has, we will also email you a copy of the Advanced Reader EPUB. So for everyone wanting to get their hands on a copy of Trash Tales once it releases on August the 1st, let me fill you in on how to do that. So the print edition will be £11.99 British pounds, or the equivalent currency depending on your region. So for instance, it's just over $16 US. It will be available from Amazon only, the print edition. We can't do pre-orders on the print edition, unfortunately, but you'll be able to order it, as soon as August 1st rolls around. The ebook will be £3.99 or equivalent, and will be available from the Amazon and Kobo stores. For folks who use other e-readers or apps like Apple Books, for instance, and just want to get the EPUB file that you can read on whatever device you want. It will be DRM free, by the way. We're making that available to order via the Kilter and Rammel website, so my publisher's website, and that will be just by a very, very simple, click a buy button, and it'll take you through to a PayPal form, and you'll be able to order it there. We should be able to do pre-orders for the ebook, definitely on Amazon and direct from us, but also hopefully on Kobo. I'm just kind of sorting all of that out at the moment. But we will keep you posted on when and where you'll be able to do a pre-order once we've figured out exactly what the date will be that goes up. So profits then for this. All profits after the costs are covered. So we've got a few costs to cover, things like the ISBN and the barcode and the author copies that the authors are getting, because the authors obviously aren't getting a monetary compensation, financial compensation. They're getting their compensation in copies of the book. Once those costs are covered, any profits beyond that will be donated to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, which is a literacy charity whose shared funds cover the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and the Republic of Ireland. I'll put a link in the description to the charity's website if you want to know more. And whilst you're waiting for this year's instalment of brand new fabulous trashy tales, don't forget that Garbology is still available, but only for the next month. Come August 1st, it will disappear into the ether, never to be seen again. So if you haven't got a copy already and you want one, get your order in ASAP. I will link in the description to the product page on Amazon for Garbology. So yeah, do get your orders in before the 1st of August if you want a copy. So with all of that done, there's quite a lot there. What's left to do on the project then? Well, promotion, obviously, which Ollie is taking the lead on. He has a much bigger reach than I do, and also he's far more savvy when it comes to social media stuff than I am. I'm not. I'll be putting together a package of graphics for people to use on social media to help spread the word and stuff, so I'll update further when they're ready to go. Cats come to say hello. I'm finalising all of the metadata and listings and all that kind of stuff on selling platforms, and updating the Kilter and Rammel website, that kind of thing. Now we're getting this close to release, and I'll be sending out the author copies of the print and ebook editions first thing in August, basically. As soon as the book releases, the author copies will go out. But I think that's pretty much it to tell you for now. We are very, very nearly there, which is very exciting. As I say, there'll be further updates across July and into August as well once the book is released, so keep your eyes peeled for those. But thank you very much for watching, folks, and thanks for your support of this project on the whole. I've loved being involved in this. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see the book in your hands now. I really hope you love the stories as much as Ollie and I do, But I think you're in for a really good, fun time with this collection of stories from this collection of fantastic authors. So yes, I will catch you again in an update video very soon, no doubt. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.